Okay, give it a couple minutes. Give everybody a couple minutes to come in. Let's take this off here. Okay. Hi, Arlene. Arlene, thank you for my happy mail. Thank you for my happy mail. I love the Eiffel Tower, which I'm going to cut out. I'm going to do that right now while we're sitting here. Hi, Kat. Good morning. Where's my mouse? I got to get a little organized here. Good morning. Hi, Terry, Brett. Terry, I got your prompt at the ready. Let's see. Maria. Good morning, Maria. Laverne. Let's just say hi to Arlene. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to cut this out real quick, Arlene. Don't need these big scissors, though. Let's get my small ones. Where's the little ones? Where they go? Here they are. Let's see. Missy, Angie. So, yeah. Arlene sent me a picture of the this. I got 20 things on my mind this morning. Oh my gosh. And then she also sent me this, which I loved. I love this little fall sticker here, which I'll put in my journal. Let's get it out of the little packaging here. I know it. Yeah, I know what it is, Katrine. Okay, Katrin? Yeah, the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, I'm half teasing you. So I love that. That's going to go in my fall page. All right, Malibu, you cannot come up here, baby. Sorry, I already ran your brother out. Oh my gosh. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Janet. Let's see. Like Katrina. Let's see. Sylvia. I try to catch everybody first thing before we get crack-a-lacking. Yeah, I told Arlene, she goes, do you want this picture of the Eiffel Tower? I said, well, as long as you don't mind if I cut it up. It was out of a vintage something, I think. And I said, as long as you don't mind if I cut it up. Let's see, where does it kind of ends over here? Let's just kind of go this way with it. Let's go this way with it. Because I'm going to collage it down. So, yeah. All right. Thank you, Arlene. And let's see, today I'm giving away some of this. Let's put this over here. I got piles everywhere. Malibu's sitting down here staring up at me like, let me come up there. Let me come up there. Mama has no room. There's no room, baby. Why don't you go lay on your little nest Mama gave you? All right, what was I going to do? Okay, so let me take the stamps off Arlene's letter because I keep those. Honey, there's no room. Here. I have to go over here. There's no room. I should have just closed the door, but then they claw at the door. Oh, a stock photo that came with a picture frame. Oh, okay. Well, I love it. Thank you, Arlene. All right, let's see now. How do I want to proceed? Let's finish saying good morning to people. Christine, I'm going to try to catch everybody first thing. Get a little discombobulated when we start. I'm kind of far away right now because I want to show you my Inktober. I did post the first day, and I'll actually show you the poster. Where's my phone? Okay. So I did post it on Instagram. I think I'm only going to post on Instagram this year. And Inktober. So there's the oh, I'm going to show you the whole thing, but I posted it. I did a little video of it, but I couldn't the music wouldn't click in for whatever reason. I couldn't get the music to work, so I just said forget it. I'll just post a picture. So, all right. So I made a little journal here, and I just made it with the disc, and I have one of the Happy Planner disc, chomper that makes, and this is still wet, that chomps the little ring holders. So I just put that together, and I'm going to do something similar to this kind of idea, and I'll show it again here in a minute, but with the square, which I love square journals. So I'll show you a little bit about that. Hi, CB. Good to see you. Hope you're doing okay. Let's see. Side Angie. Who else am I missing? Missy. It's hard to stream. Yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah. Yesterday, my internet went out in the morning and they were doing something. I said, oh, it'll be back on by 11:30. It came back on by 10:30, which was nice. And I wasn't streaming yesterday, which was even better. But I was watching Mary and started watching Kathy on my phone. It's hard to do streaming. At least it is for me with trifocals, just to watch streaming chat on the phone. If you just enlarge the whole picture, that's fine. But if you want to chat with anybody, then yeah, it's hard. Let's see. She was ill, but she's on the mend. Okay, good. Let me click on that, Missy. We were asking about Tori, and Missy said she heard from her. She was ill, but she's on the mend. Okay. The Hole Maker, you can get it at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, I think, or probably online too. I probably got mine at Hobby Lobby because Hobby Lobby is my closest store. Michael's is maybe 10 miles away. Hobby Lobby's just a couple miles away. So I probably got it at Hobby Lobby. I also have a blue one because Denise and I share. Anyway, let's see. Kimberly was in the hospital. She's back home and recovering. Okay, thanks, Terry. Terry heard from her as well. Hi, Heart House. So, yeah, we were asking about you, Tori, if you're watching. We were all wondering, hoping you were doing okay because we hadn't seen you around for a while. So, she's on the mend. Belinda, I'm trying to catch everybody coming in. So, yeah, I just put this together yesterday. I started adding some cream color pages in between the black and the craft color. This is 12 by 12 cardstock. Hi, Tina. Tina's going to say good morning to everybody, which is nice because then I can see, did I miss anybody? Because I usually do. I don't try to miss anybody, but thank you. Thank you, Tina. I haven't added any more cream color in between the craft and the black. So what I do is I just take some 12 by 12 cardstock and cut it in half and half again. So you get 4 sheets out of one 12 by 12. And then I just punched holes like this, like that right there, and bound it with the disc. These are the arc discs. It's not the actual Happy Punch. So I was going to show you some different discs. So if you don't have a hole punch and you don't have discs, you can just hole punch with the punch, and you can use different size rings. You can even go up this big. If you want a really thick journal, you can use big, thick rings. I'd recommend 3, so that's more stable. And if you want these large rings like this, you can get them in the embroidery section. Any place that sells embroidery floss, that's where these are. They're really made to put your little embroidery floss holders, the little plastic things that you wrap the floss around. That they have a hole in them. This is what that's made for. So you can put your floss on the ring. Thank you, Belinda. So you can put your embroidery floss on a ring. I didn't pull some floss today to show y'all. Figured y'all knew what that is. Hi, Dot. Okay. All right. Dot's watching without sound. Somebody say, okay, Dot. So, but these are awesome to use for making a journal that you want thicker. And I have used them over the years. And a lot of my journals, y'all know, I've kind of stored a couple bins, actually 2 full bins I stored away in the garage. Another bin I gave to Denise. Actually, no, I gave her 2 bins. I gave her 2 bins of journals that were either started, not much in it, or blank, so that she takes it and gives it to the women's shelter and her friend Julie, so who crafts as well. Anyway, so you can use these big rings and just hole punch, just a regular hole punch, and punch 3 holes in it and use this. But there's other size rings you can get. There's all kinds of size of rings. You can get painted ones like this. You can colored ones that come in black. They come in all colors. So you can see over the years, I've made journals, deconstructed journals, remade journals. But anyway, I wanted to show y'all that option. So if you don't have the Happy Planner punch or Happy Planner discs, then you can just use regular rings to make journals with. Or you can use, and I've got tons of Happy Planners. I don't use Happy Planners as planners. I use them for journals. But you can get, this is the ARC ones. They're not made by Happy Planner. And I like them because they're big. Now, if you're going to make a journal, I would recommend, if you don't want the giant ones and you want to go with the discs, or if you have Happy Planners or have used Happy Planners, I recommend the metal ones. This one's not metal. I don't think these come in metal. If they do, I've not seen them at the store. They're probably online. But anyway, metal ones, and this goes for whether if you have Happy Planners or you use them for sketchbooks, journals, or whatever. Hi, Linda. Cindy Daly. Who else am I missing? Karen. The metal ones are easier to turn. When you turn your journal, turn your pages, the metal ones just glide much easier than the plastic ones. So I recommend, and here's a couple different colors. They come in all different colors, but I just pulled a few. I recommend the metal ones because the slickness of the metal makes the pages much easier to turn. So there's my tips. There's my tips on little journals or Happy Planners or ring journals, whichever. All right, let me throw this back in the drawer here so they're out of my way. Okay. Because I have so little room on my table, especially when the cat wants to jump up here. All right, so I'm backed way out just long enough to show you. I want to show you my Inktober, and then we're going to get started. I got a Tim Holtz haul. All right, so here's the poster. It's 22 by 30. I just started it. I did this yesterday for this morning's title page, and it's hard to see this. I might have to do something. It says 2025 and it's supposed to look like coral, but I don't like it's too hard to read. So I might shade, put some more darker ink on the outside and the bottom to make it look more to 2025. But I posted it this morning, and it's like a Kelpie ink Inktober, and the next thing I'm going to do is work on the ship. That's really the only thing that I kind of laid out, this and that. Everything else I'll kind of just do, like pick up the pen and do it, right? And so I have my list here. You can look at it if you want or take a screenshot. I mean, I may or may not use all these, but I wrote down a whole bunch of stuff to put on the poster. And what I do, and most of y'all already know this, what I do is I do one little thing a day, and I take a picture of that one thing and post it on Instagram. And you don't see the whole poster until the end of the month. So this is going to be the last time you're going to see this until the end of the month. You're only going to see little bits and pieces of it. And this is how I work it. Let me show you my last, and I showed this on Monday, but I'll show it again. So in 2020, this was my first one. I did Inktober, where I did insects. And so I did one insect a day, every day for 31 days. And then at the end of the month, you saw the whole poster. And that's when I fill the last day is when I fill in the back. This one I blacked in the ink in the back and put spider webs. So that was the very last thing I did on the last day. Then in 2023, I can't believe this. This was 2 years ago. It seems like just last month I did Inktober. So Inktober I did in 2023, and it's the same idea. One little thing you just get that much every day, just one little animal a day until the end of the month when you could see the whole poster. So that was 2023, and then last year in 2024 I did Ink Farmtober. I don't know. This may be the last year I do this. It's a lot of work to do these things. But anyway, so Ink Farmtober, I did one animal or did the little Amish couple or the little, milk can or just, the beehive. So I would just do one little thing a day. And then on the last day, I'd fill in all the background. And this time I did stars all over in the background. So, and they're all up on Instagram one at a time, and then the final page at the end of the month. So that's what I'm doing for Inktober again. And as I said, it's Inktober this time, an Inktober poster. All right, so there we go with that. Let's see, looking around, see what else I forgot to show or anything. Y'all saw my rooster with the tinfoil hat. All right, so let me go ahead and zoom in now. And is that close enough? That's probably close enough. I got all this stuff going on here. Let's just move this down just a little. There we go. And I have some things pulled to work in this book. But again, I went to Hobby Lobby and they had just put out some new Tim Holtz. And they had to put their stickers on them and everything. So some things, I know which things are brand new and some things I had. And they weren't new putting them out is what I should say. You like the farm one, Missy? All right, before we get started, let me go ahead and show y'all Terry's prompts. Let me see. I took a picture of it. It's easier for me to just take a picture of it and show it than it is to go over to Instagram. But y'all go over to Instagram to look at it. So Monday's prompts were truck, bat, frog, conceit, and moose. Is that right? Yeah. And I'm trying to see on because it's a picture. It's not from Instagram. And I mean, it's just the picture from Instagram. So here she did. Here's the truck, and I'll read it. There's the truck, the frog, the moose. I love this, Terry, and the bat. And what was the other thing? And conceit. Okay, so let me go ahead and read it to you. I just love Terry's. She does just such good little illustrations with random prompts. Random prompts. Thank you, Kat. Kat put the link there. So here we go. The bat is saying, "Look out, guys." Oh, and she also uses what you see in the red or the caps there when we read out of the Lollygagging book. This last Monday was the letter M. So she picked a couple of words from there. Look out, guys. That marauder's out roaming again. Look, I just love the little expressions. Such madcap driving. The truck is really, I love that. Oh, moose, you are so conceited. Right, muckety muck. Ha, ha, ha. And then I guess this is this mud muckety muck. Well, he won't have any luck while I'm here. And they said, you're conceited. He goes, I'm not. Oh, you are. Trouble is you have been pampered and mollycoddled all your life. So I guess it's not all your fault. It's just so good. She just comes up with these things just in a day or two. Just in a day or two. It's so good. So y'all go over to Terry Brett 3. Here's her Terry Brett 3 on IG so y'all can see him close and better, right, Missy? You're just so awesome. And Terry, don't ever feel obligated, Terry. Sometimes I think maybe she doesn't feel like doing a prompt this week. Well, if you don't feel like doing a prompt, Terry, you make sure you don't do it. I don't want you to ever feel obligated to, you know, uh, do it, which I don't think you do. All right. So, and also today, remember I told y'all I got these little wood discs. They're just thin wood, like balsa wood, and you can paint on them acrylic paint or whatever. I don't know if you could color pencil them. I guess you could. Anyway, I got I think 12 of them. So I thought maybe I'd do, like 4 today, 4, like once a week, do like 4, 2 US, 2 international. Now again, if you're in Canada, I'm holding your Canadian mail until somebody tells me the Canadian strike is over. So I have 2 or 3 things back here behind me that go to Canada. So as soon as the strike's over, they're ready to just throw in the mail. They're all ready to go. Okay, if I don't feel up or don't have time. Okay. All right, Terry. But you always do it so well and we love it so much, but we don't want you to ever feel pressured. Yeah, they're little wood pumpkins, Tina. Just little thin balsa wood. So I just put them in an envelope, right? So we're going to do, let me pull 4 here. We'll do 4 today, 2 US, 2 international. Again, if you're in Canada, we'll send them as soon as the Canadian post strike is over. All right, so we're going to do that after a while. All right, let's see. I'm looking around because I always have piles of little things here and there to do. So let me go ahead and show y'all the, let's put this right here so I don't forget. Y'all remind me if I start to forget the giveaway before we leave. The Tim Holtz haul. So again, they were putting out some new stuff. Now, new being, I don't know. It's new to my Hobby Lobby. I'd not seen some of this. Some of it I had seen, like this. Here's these little, and it's not real metal. It looks like real metal stencils, but they're just little card chipboard kind of gold plated, gold foil letters and numbers. There's one of each of the alphabet and the numbers. Now I got lemon water hiccups. And it just came like attached to this card here. And I only opened a couple things. I told Janet I was going to open everything with you guys. So I put my initials on the front of this cover here. So yeah, is this a little flashed out? Be pretty good. I don't want it to get it too. Let's turn the brightness down just a tad. There we go. Hi, Cheryl. Anybody else I missed coming in? Hi, View. So and these were, and Hobby Lobby never puts Tim Holtz stuff on sale anymore. They used to occasionally, but now they just have one little section of Tim Holtz stuff. So they don't ever put it on sale. At least I never see it on sale. So this is $8.99. So this is probably this and the big paper here were the two, probably the most expensive things of all that I got. But I wanted these for the, I just wanted to put them on here. So I made this little journal, like I said earlier, with the disc and the punch. And we're going to play in this, and we're going to play like we used to do in these. So we're going to kind of do the same kind of thing, except we're going to work in a little square journal. And it's 6 by 6. All right, let's see. Sarah, who else am I missing? Thanks everybody for being here. I do appreciate it. And we got that. Then let's see. This is a little plastic that was covering it. This will be good for like putting because it's got a lip on it. Markers. I have a little pile up here of plastic that I use for marking, putting down water-based markers or acrylic markers and some picking them up with a paintbrush. So keep a couple pieces of plastic. I can't keep all that plastic, but I keep a little bit. Hi, Nanamo. Happy hump day to you too. Okay. Then I got these keys. I think these might be new, and I haven't opened any of this. Let's go ahead. Maybe we could zoom in one more. I haven't opened these up yet so that y'all could see them and how much they cost and all that. So, and then let's see, I can put them over here, I think. I got some little pieces of jelly plate paper to play with, just a couple pieces. I can pull more. And some stencils, some inks, some little pieces of collage from Collage Soup. So whatever we feel like doing today. All right, so these were $5.99, and they're little keys. Let's just pull. Don't need this, but I will. No, can't keep that. It's not flat. I want something flat. So I'm just going to put these all right here on my little tray. They're little. I mean, some of them are really tiny, which is good. You'd almost have to, I don't know if you'd want to sew them on. I don't know how well they would stick, you know, they're so tiny. You might want to sew those on or make them hanging charms, like a charm on a journal. Like I could put that on. Well, no, I don't have the ring on there. So like that. So little keys. Let's see. Said I know. Hello, Erica, 71. Said hi to Karen. Yes, baby keys view. I said hi to Belinda. Or they could each be on an individual zine or ATC for sure. All right, then, yeah, I'm showing you the three-dimensional stuff first. This was a, this is new as far as I've never seen this before. Quote flare, you know, flare buttons, and they have quotes on them. So I'm going to read them to you here. Again, this one might be kind of, let's see here. This might be a good little mixing tray. That one might work. So this was $4.99. So I might keep these for, I'll keep them for a minute. When they get in my way, then they're going in the trash. They'll be in my way. All right, let's see what they say here. And they're just little flare buttons that you can just, you know, how I do stuff like this is I put a pop dot in the middle here. Like here, let me grab some. A couple different sizes here. Like one of these pop dots. Put that on here so that you can stick it down. All right, let's see, where do I put this? The baby, he's on book dangles. Yes, Arlene. Yeah, jewelry, junk jewelry, junk journal jewelry. Let's see, where do I have one up here? This is my main one that I have the most on that I keep. So you can hang anything on a journal. So this has got beads and strings and all kinds of things hanging off of here. So yeah. So you can hang anything. And it's just, yeah, pop dots. That's what these are, View. They're called pop dots because they're like little stickers. They're sticky. You put sticky on this side, then you put them down. I don't know if that's going to be big enough. Might need two in here. And you peel it off, and it's sticky on that side, then you can stick it down. Called pop dots. Okay, let's throw this back up on the shelf. All right. So let's see what they say. You use these dots all the time, Angie? Yeah. All right, so lucky is a state of mind. I'm going to read them all to you. Hope is never lost. Make today count. Thanks, John, and good to see you. Last night, John had a great drone footage from Oak Island last night. It was really good. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate you supporting the channel. So if y'all like anything Oak Island, he always has amazing drone footage over on his channel. And so y'all have to go watch John's channel. That's right there. You can see what it is. Go over there and watch John's Oak Island, and then during when Oak Island, which will be coming up again in November, he does a weekly or bi-week. One he usually does a view and then a chat on his channel every week. So if you want anything to talk Oak Island, John's a person to follow. So I appreciate that. Thank you, John. Let's see here. Uh, yeah, John, you're coming all sweet and generous this morning. So yeah, thanks guys. Y'all, we try to promote people. There's Tina's putting a link to John's channel right there. Okay, so thanks, John. Y'all write these down now. Write these down. And he also has a Facebook. I think he's got like 70,000 followers on Facebook, on his Facebook page for Oak Island. So yeah, if y'all like anything, just call me Zombie John. Okay. Well, good morning, John. Oh my goodness. Creativity takes courage. Always better together. Full of wonder. Let your dreams take flight. Always choose to do your best. Do small things with great love. Always shine brightly. And dreams are for chasing. And because nice matters. So there's just some little flair. So funny. And then this, I did get Janet. Well, I already sent it to her. I already sent it to her yesterday. But I got myself one too. And y'all know, as soon as you see it, you're going to know why I sent it to Janet. Because y'all know Janet loves rulers and measuring and all that stuff. I just like the way they look. They're wood rulers. These were $4.99. There's 5 rulers in there. And so, Janet, I sent yours out yesterday. And some of this packaging is nice to save if you're going to use it like for a background or something. I've saved a little bit of it, but I have so much paper, but that makes a nice base. Maybe we'll use it as a base today. But look at these rulers. They're like vintage, like you'd get at the old, country store, yardstick kind of thing. Okay. So this one's American type founders, branches, and selling agents in 25 cities. This one just has numbers, but they're wood, little balsa wood. Merchant Taylor. I know, aren't they cute, Jan? I knew you would love it. That's why I picked you up one. Easy reading, and this one I like because it's tall like this. And then this one is got 1/4 inches on there. So anyway, I thought that was really cute. So I got those. Then I got these. And I think I don't know if I have this exact pack, but I have bought some of these transparencies before. I don't know that I have this pack. Somehow I think I do. But anyway, so I'm not sure how new this one is. I'm just trying to take the plastic off to keep it on the thing here. So these were $6.99 and they're transparencies. And let's see, it's 33 pieces. And y'all know I keep stuff like this. Let me get a little thing here. I keep this kind of stuff in these little pouches. Velcro warning. Somehow I bent this one. Okay. All right, that's going to annoy me. Let me get another one. I got a bunch of them right here. There we go. Okay. So, Velcro warning. So let's just take a look at some of them. You know what I should do is put them on a piece of paper and spread them out so you can see them. Here, let's see. Let's get a piece of paper out from under here. and put them on there so I can just kind of show them all to you at once. Like this. I get them all. So they're transparencies. So you can see through. Rulers are always better if you actually use them. Janet. Oh my gosh, they're sliding all over the place. All right, so we got some birds in here. We got some tags. And again, all these are see-through. So there's some little paint, not chips, but paint swatches. Some larger florals here. About four or five of those. And then let's spread these out here so you can see them all. So these are kind of fun. So they're like little transparency tags and birds and butterfly stamps, like faux postage. Oh, thank you, Kat. Kat, you don't have to put links to all of them if you don't feel like it, for sure. All right, so there's the transparencies. Let me take a sip of my lemon water. Then, and again, sometimes I'll keep some of the packaging because you can put it in your journal as a base, or you could even make a journal out of these if you get enough of them. Hi, Ellen. And if you keep the little hole punch thing there, you could put a tag on there with the hole, hang a tag on it, or some, I pulled some here somewhere, some twine. All right, so I'll keep a few of these just because for today. And then again, here's another piece of it. You can make different little tags and swatches and stuff with them. Let's see. Okay. Then I got, and I'm going to get another little pouch here. And I'll combine a lot of different ones. Like, I don't care if these little tiny ones are mixed in with a bigger size one. Now I do kind of like the transparency ones separate because then I know that those are transparency ones. Okay, so these were $4.49 and they're called Curator Ephemera Pack. That's all it says. It's got you can't even see that tiny picture, but anyway. So again, let me get the little cardboard here. Pour them out on. And we'll keep a couple pieces of this. All right, so let me kind of spread them out. They're just tiny. These are tiny little tags, which these kind of things are especially nice in small journals. When you do a small journal. All right, let me get my scissors. So let me just kind of spread them out. Some of them are upside down. There's tons of these. It doesn't say how many there were, but there's a lot. So let me just kind of hold them up so you can kind of just get a little bit. And you can ink the edges of them and, really distress them. That's all, Tim Holtz is all about the distress. Hi, Randy. Do you have a link to the clear bags you use? Let me see. Let me look on my Amazon. Hang on. I think they're 5x7. Let's see. Where's my ruler? Let's see. Let's see. Let me get a. I think there's a 5x7 ones. Hang on. I would pick up a clear ruler. Okay, there's 5. I think they're 5.5 by 7.5. Okay, 5.5 by 7.5. If you look up Velcro envelopes 5.5 by 7.5 on Amazon, they'll come up. And also, you can get these in colors. I like them in clear because I want to see them, but they do come in colors as well. Let's see. uh, let's see here. All right, my Amazon, there it goes. I was going to say my Amazon's not loading in here. All right, this one says 5 by 7. This one says 5 by 7. This says 5.5 by 7.5. Oh, come on. Hang on, guys. Okay, so you can get 20. These are 5. This one's 5 by 7. This one's a little bigger, so you'll have to just look around. But they just come like this. This $13 for 20 of them here. 5 by 7. But these are 5.5 by 7.5. I don't particularly care which one it is because this is what I use them for, right? But just look them up on Amazon. They come in 9 by, that's the same kind of thing that I use for my collage soup. But these have a snap instead of Velcro. I think you can get either or both. And these are, I think, 9 by 12. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, these are 9 by 12. And I keep all my collage soup books in these because after I start cutting in other collage books like Pour Toast, I keep them in here because once you start cutting into those books, you're going to have those pieces they're not going to stay inside that book. So if you keep them in a sleeve like this, they're not going to go all over. You know what I mean? Okay, so Kat found some 5 by 7. All right, so again, these are all just little tags or little labels. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to put these in here. And I have other small packs of other things, but I wanted to show y'all what I got at Hobby Lobby yesterday. Okay, then the next, I got these. I didn't get these yesterday, but I don't think I've shown these to you. Or maybe I have, and I think I might have had this pack, and I gave some away, but I don't know if I had this pack. But they're collage papers. There's 30 in each. And what they are is, well, I'll hold the thing up here so you can, I don't know if that's going to be helpful or not, but that's what all the pieces are that are in there. I believe there's 2 of each. And there's the other. So there's 15 there. So there's 2 of each. And they're tissue papers. They're very thin. They're like, it's like if you had stamped on tissue paper, very, very thin. So, it's almost going to disappear if you collage this down. Let's see. Anne, who else am I missing? Anne makes. Thanks everybody for being here. I said hi to Ellen. I do try to catch everybody. So these are very, very thin, tissue paper thin. So when you go to matte medium this down, the paper like almost disappears and you're left with the image. Maybe we'll do some of that today. We'll see in the book. We'll see. Now you can't do this on black papers. In this book, I've put black craft and cream color papers. If you try to do that on black, of course, it's going to disappear. So anyway, let me show you a few here. They're just very floaty, very thin. So these are fun. There's some bugs, bird cage. He used to sell this kind of thing in a tissue, like a roll of the tissue. It was a little bit different feel, I think, than this one. This one feels a little thinner, but he used to sell it in a roll. And then I don't know why, he just, started selling it like this. So, yeah, there's 15 different designs. I think there's 2 of each because there's 30. So anyway, there's those. I'm just going to leave them in here because these are going to fly away. So I do keep those in here. Then I got these are new to me. These are called layers, 32 pieces. Again, I'm going to get rid of the plastic and I might keep some of the backing and keep some of this because these are going to go in a thing. But you have the little hole punch and you can hang something off of it, make a background, you know. All right, let's see. Where's my paper? To lay them out on for you to see. Oh, I forgot to tell you how much this one was. What was it? I think it was $6.99 for all these ones. All right, here we go. I'm just going to kind of flip them out here for you. Some like faux ledger pad, and this is it's a lightweight cardstock. It's not chipboard, you know. It's a heavier than your cardstock, like paper cardstock, but not as thick as chipboard. But these are all that, you know. So I'm just going to kind of flip through here. So you get a couple of each one maybe, or no, I don't know, it's similar. And here's a large ledger. No, this is a report card. Here's a report card. I can't hardly read it. It's written in green. A little report card. Different ledgers and let me move these down here. Business cards, faux postcards, men and boys clothing, little wheel, portrait studio, calling cards, part of a bond or something. Here's another report card. This person made all A's and B's and it was all written in cursive. Yes, on his layers. They're about 5 years older. I think these might be, I don't know. These are the first time I've seen them and they were just putting them out in my Hobby Lobby. So, but I do have some of his other ones as well, Belinda. But I don't know if these, are new or not. I'm just showing you what I got. Time stamps, time sheets, more ledgers. These are just so fun to use in your junk journals or just regular journals, like my nature journals. A couple of tags that already got holes punched in them, more ledger pieces. So yeah, there's all that. I do probably need a different, let's see, do I have another empty one up here? Another sleeve. I don't know. I like Tim Holtz stuff. I always have. I don't do a ton of vintagey, but I do like it when I do something like this journal that when we made a whole bunch of these back during the virus. I got about, I don't know how many, but I'll go kind of flip through some. I picked a couple pages that are some of my favorites to kind of show you that we're going to do some of the similar kind of thing like this, except in the square 6x6 journal. This is like one of the Travelers Midori journals that we just did tons of these back in the day. So I just pulled one because it has the nature stuff in it. So there's that. Then what else did I get over here? Oh, now I had not seen these people. I bought a lot of Tim's photo booth people. It's $4.99 for 40 pieces, but this has color ones or tinted in color ones. And that actually used to be a job. There used to be a profession that people would color tint photos. Now, I don't think they, in the photo booths, they came any color in the photo booth ones. I don't remember any photo booth ones being in color. So someone had to tint these, but keep a couple of more of these for, at least for today. Let's see. So there's 40 of them. And like I said, I'm going to flip through them, but they are, see how they're tinted. Somebody had to, when you saw a picture that looked like this, not necessarily a photo booth one, but a picture like this back in the day, someone actually had to hand watercolor. Well, I don't know if it was actual watercolor. It was some kind of a ink emulsion that would, work on photographs. And someone had to hand color all those. So I'm just going to flip through them just so you can kind of see what comes in the pack. And they're fun to cut. You cut them apart. You don't have to use the whole strip because it's not all the same person. Tim's just put them together to look like photo booth. And so they're really fun, to put in a journal. Which of your collage soup books would you suggest for a new? Well, the thing about recommending a collage soup book, like I've recommended to you different collage books that are not collage soup, but just because of the variety. If you're a new person to collage, I'd recommend one of the big oversized collage books that have a multitude of items in it. Collage soup is broken out so specifically, like the birds, the Halloween, there's just every topic. Just go look on collage soup on Amazon and look up their books. There's very specific, like the cowgirl one that I just did, a cowgirl. So unless I know exactly what you're looking for, then I could probably recommend a book to you. But yeah, it's going to depend on what theme you want to do. If you want to do birds, nature, then I'd recommend the Bird Nerd, but so it's hard to recommend one of those because they're so specific. Aren't these cool? Years ago, I used to tint. Okay, let's see. Years ago, I used to tint roadside pictures for the vintage. Oh my gosh, that's awesome, CB. Well, then what kind of ink is it? Is it ink? Is it watercolor? What is it that you use to tint them? Or do you remember? Jesus. But aren't they cool? And there's 40 of these little, and I do have some of these in just the black and white ones that I've done giveaways with. Let's see, I missed what she said. Yeah, there's all kinds of different ones. Yeah, just have to go look. So anyway, I have given away some of these before, but they're just the black and white ones. This is the first set I've seen of tinted ones. Let's see if CB answered what it is that. I don't see her answer. Oh, wait. It came in a little tube and smelled like oil, used Q-tips. Okay. Well, it's probably, did it take long to dry or did it sink like the emulsion right into the, how photographs feel, have an emulsion that you like. I don't do photography. I've never developed any of my own photographs. Anyway, so yeah, you get quite a few. I do have another envelope, one of the bigger ones with some of these in it that are all black and white. So I'll put those in with them. Let's put this over here. Okay, next. And I know someone's going to say, why did you get this? You can make your own, own washi. But this looks like the cello tape. It's cello sticker tape. $4.99 for 144 stickers. And it's supposed to look like when you used to use Scotch tape. Now it's acid free. Back then, back in the day, the tape, the Scotch tape, if you will, it wasn't. I don't think it wasn't Scotch tape, but it was, the tape, the clear tape, would yellow over years. And that's what this is made to look like. It's to look like the tape has yellowed. Thanks, Kat. Kat put some links in here. Let's see. It did take a while to dry, CB. Okay. Okay, so then I'll take this out. I could keep a piece of this was, like I said, $4.99 for 100, and there's 3 different sheets. I'm not sure how many of each sheet. Anyway, I'll show you. I'll show what it looks like. So here we go. We got this separating it. Hang on. So you can see, well, I'll have to put it on there. It's to look like the old cellophane tape. See, it's clear. It looks like there's 2. I think there's 2 of each. This one's a little wider. So when you put it on your page, it looks like yellowed Scotch tape. And I think sister woman Jonna, I think makes her own. She makes her own of this. So if you follow preppy crafty girl Jonna, I call her sister woman, you will she'll probably have a video on how to make this if you want to make it. Here's even a bigger one. So it's 3 different sizes. Here we go. That's what the different ones look like. Thanks, Kat. Put a link in. And so you can see it's transparent and it's a sticker. So you can just, peel it off and put it down. Like you could put it on a photograph, like on one of these photographs like this. Here, let's do this. Let's take one. Take one, and let's just say you wanted to, we'd probably want the thin one for this little picture. Get a little piece here. I don't have much fingernails to grip. I don't have any nails to get a grip on the edge. Hang on, let me grip an edge here. Oh, gosh. Oh, let's see. There we go. There we go. All right. See, so it looks like the old. It looks like in an old photo album or something. You forget you have your washi tape. Yeah, I did pull another washi tape out to use today we work in the journal. I hardly ever use this, and it's just a peelable kind. It's like a sticker tape, but it looks like it's burned edges. And this roll, and I gave a bunch of this away a couple weeks ago when we did a little collage giveaway. It doesn't stay rolled up, so it annoys me. Anyway, so like that. So that's what it looks like. Okay, so we'll just keep all this together on a sheet. We'll keep her in there as a sample. All right, then the last thing, I think I got one more, my Tim Holtz haul. Let's move these rulers are all going, everything's going everywhere here. I'll put those in that little tray for now. I got this, and here I have different ones of these. I don't think I have this one. This one's called Backdrops, and it's $8.99, and this is volume 2, 24 double-sided sheets. I know I have one of them, so I must have volume 1. So, okay. Because I looked at the back, and this one looked familiar to me. This one looked familiar, but some of these others did not look familiar to me. So I'm thinking, I don't know. So I probably won't keep this. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Thanks, Kat. She put the link to the cello tape. All right. So let me flip through these papers and then we'll do something in the little journal. Okay. All right. Any questions, comments? Are we moving here? Let me do a test. My chat doesn't seem to have moved for a minute. There it goes. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let me turn down the brightness just a tad. Double-sided. I'm going to just do a quick flip through them. Let's see, I'll go this way. So it's got ledgers. Hi, Devin. I have to go back. I'm doing a Tim Holtz haul. Love this. This looks like the marble end papers, you know. Advertisements. Maybe a prescription or something. They're just all so different, you know? All so different. Yeah, thanks, Kat. Put a link to his backdrops. There we go. And I know he's got at least 2 of these packs of papers. Some maps. A little bit of everything, you know? I like this with the faux stamp. Maybe I'll use that. I like that. I like that because it's pink. Some schematics. I actually have a scrapbook paper of this. I don't know if it was Tim Holtz, but I have a scrapbook paper of that. Okay, Arlene, thanks again for my happy mail. Thank you so much. Slate and blackboard exercises, long division. And somebody started doing their long division. Maybe this is the person that made the A's on the report card. I used to like regular math, you know, fractions and geometry. What do you call it? Algebra eluded me. It wasn't visual enough, and nobody could explain it. Look, here's cello tape. Look, I mean, this is flat. It's a photograph of it, but that's old cello tape picture of it, what it looks like. That's cool. Harrington spelling book. Yeah, and then here's something in French. Okay, so there we go. And these papers right here are, let me measure on here. Let me look down here. Where's mine? Well, I don't know where I did my little, here it is. It probably was on the pack, but I didn't look. These are, I don't know why I always pull up a clear ruler. I can't see. Let's see. These are 10 by 6 by 10. These are 6 by 10 papers. You loved algebra? I just couldn't get anybody to explain it to me. And when I'd ask, well, why is this? And what about this? Just memorize the formulas. But what does that mean? What is the formula? What does it mean? Well, just memorize the formulas. I never got anybody to explain it to me. So, you know, if you can't explain it to me and I can't learn from it, it's like, you know, I had no intention of becoming a chemist or a mathematician or anything that would need algebra. So I said, I love to learn. I love geometry. I love math, you know, regular math, fractions, that kind of thing. But if you can't explain to me what you're doing, you might as well be telling me string theory or something, you know what I mean? Oh, let's see. Brenda. I said hi to Karen. Okay, so let's see now. So I put this little journal together yesterday. because I wanted to do this. Uh, so anyway, these, and I showed it earlier. I showed how if you don't have the rings and the punch, I showed the different, or the disc. I showed how you can use rings and just a hole punch and how to make one of these. So you'll have to go back because I can't do it all over again. We'll be here all day. So what I did in, I have not completely put all the cream color pages in here, but what I'm doing is I'm putting cream black craft, and so half the book, this back here, has only got the black and the craft. And again, they're 12 by 12 cardstock weight. You know, they're 65, 7, 9. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me. But anyway, it's a decent weight of cardstock, but it's not heavy cardstock. The craft is probably the thickest of all of them. And then I just punch the hole. I cut them down 6 by 6, which you get four out of a sheet, and then I punch them. And then the cover, I used a heavier cardstock, and then put a layer of the craft on one side and the black on the other, so that the covers are heavier. You studied math, me? Aw, I enjoy math because how I looked at math was like a puzzle. I love puzzles. I love, logic puzzles, and I love puzzles. But you have to have you got to have a map. And algebra, nobody gave me a map. Hi, Tex. Let's see. Hi, Blade, artistic biker Jonathan Blade. I mean, that's not his name. That's just his nickname. His nickname is Blade. mm, yeah, for sure. A lot of math and biology. And you want people that are going to be in the medical field or pharmaceuticals. You want them to know what they're talking about, right? Or doing. So let's see. Uh, if I'm missing anybody, I'm not meaning to. All right, so I'm going to show you this book, and I put some tags on some of my favorite ones, so we can kind of maybe do something similar. And again, I'm going to say something similar, but I want to try to use the new Tim Holtz stuff, and I didn't have this stuff in this book, but you can get this all kinds of stuff like this on. Here's a big envelope that I have of different stuff over the years. That is just all in one big sleeve, if you will, that's not divided out like I did these, like the acetate ones. And so this is just a big hodgepodge of stickers and tags and labels and everything like that. Butterflies, postage stamps. It's just a whole bunch of stuff in here. This is the kind of stuff that I use in this book. I know. I love those logic problem books, right? I did too. Yeah, Tina said she did too. And I haven't done one in a while, but yeah. All right. So this one is one. I don't know if I dated. I didn't put a date. I put little. You can get these little plastic sleeve things. I like to put those in the front and backs. And so I'm just going to do a little flip through so you can kind of see. And again, I was doing a whole bunch of these theme-wise, Art Nouveau, Alice in Wonderland, my Asian one. I have, I think, 2 or 3 different nature ones. I have a mermaid one. I'm looking over there. So I have a whole bunch of these different ones like this that we did during, a couple of years. And so I just use stencils and the little labels and the little, all the little ephemera. All the little ephemera. View. Where's view here? Ephemera. She always says, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's like fem, like feminine, ephemera. I'm so teasing View. Sometimes I lurk at her channel. She's laughing at me. You're welcome. But I see her struggle with that. And sometimes I say, I can't get in the chat right now. If I get into the views chat, I'll be there for a long time. And I got to remember to tell her later. Team lurker. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, like this one. I really like this one. And so just so you can see, you can keep it kind of simple with just a few things and some stenciling, some stickers, postage stamps. And it's just not, and then you can put a word or two, or you can fill this all out with, oh, I do have one that's on color too that I did. Oh, where's that one? It's not this one. Let me see if I can find the one on color because that's a really good one. I really like the one on color, but let's see if I can find it. Is this it? I think no, this is a monthly one. What was this one? These are monthly ones. Where's my color one? I got so many. I mean, seriously, I think I was working in about 15 at a time. Well, that one's not color. Where is it? Ah, this is it. Here it is. Okay. I mean, there was just so many we did. I'll show you the color one here in a minute after I show this one. And so you can do it all kinds of different themes. And then you can write about stuff. That's what I did with the color one. I wrote information about it. We didn't get too far, but let's see. There we go, like here. And I'd write all the information. I'll show that in a minute. So you can write in, fill in. You can do a certain different flowers, leaves, trees, mushrooms. You can do anything. And then you can fill in information about it if you want. I was just all about trying to get some books made and doing something creative during the virus. Let's see. And I say it like that because it used to be, guys, and y'all may not remember this, but you could not talk about the virus without getting kicked off your channel. I'm just saying. So, I had one friend, I won't tell you who it is, but he had 5 different channels. He had over 1 million views. He was making $100,000 a month, and he would talk about question. And he didn't say anything about whether it was right or wrong. He just said, let's just question it. Let's just question it. What about, what about this? What about that? He had his channel removed 5 times. He has since been reinstated and major apology done. Because now you can't do that. So just saying, we lived through it, people. We lived through it. Tina, yeah. Well, that's how we used to say it. Anyway, so yeah, this one has a little pocket. I just put a thing on here. And then I have little things, little definition, little packs of definitions. So I would put stuff like that. And just, you can see here, you can put different words, different stickers, the little leaves and things like that. So you could leave a blank tag so that you could either write or stamp. Got the little tiny rubber stamp letters you could stamp in there. Y'all are fun. Here's the different oak trees. So... and I love this quote, seeds are thoughts. Seeds are thoughts are seeds. You choose what to grow. So I just put seeds, thoughts, and all that all over it. Thoughts are seeds. You choose what to grow. Some more little of these little leaves and things. This would have been perfect for the cellophane, fake cellophane. Then here's some pansies, little faux paper pansies. Pansies were me and my grandma's flower. So I did a little page of those. And these are not my scrapbooks. Anytime I wanted to do scrapbooking, I have 12 by 12. I have 25 huge, thick scrapbooks of the family that I did over years. And I just don't scrapbook anymore. Now the kids come over and I said, do you want to look at the scrapbooks? The last time I did that, they went in with their phones, took pictures of my scrapbook pages and Snapchatted them. They don't want the books, but they'll Snapchat them or whatever the new thing is. TikTok. I don't know. I'm not on TikTok, so I'm not on Snapchat either. Oh my goodness. So, but anyway, this is stenciling. You can just stencil. Hi, Lisa. Hey, girl. Hey. So you can see I've just used, I'm just kind of letting you see some of the different things you can use in these kind of books. Tags and strings and twine, verse and poems, recipes, some different. This one I was going to do human design, and so that's that page. Here's more seeds, seed packets, envelopes, little pictures, little pieces of ephemera. Like I cut out some here, cut out a couple birds. I haven't cut out the eyeglasses right there because it'll be too easy to tear until I go to use it. But just you can just use so many things. See, pile it on, layer it, pile it on and layer it, and doesn't have to mean anything. Just a bunch of pretty stuff you like, This was coffee, categories of coffee, and then just some more floral and stencils. Observation, that was the word on this one. And see, I just used different little definitions. Observation, the attentive watching of somebody or something, the careful watching and recording of something, natural phenomena as it happens, so things like that. So I loved making these books back when we were doing this. You love this view? Thanks. Yeah, we did tons of it. And I love to study, and I don't do it as much as I would like, but the harmonics, the acoustics, sound, studying sound and what it does and how it can affect things and do things. So more. This is one of my hand carved frog stamps that I hand carved. Mary's been doing some awesome carving. She carved some, I think some owls lately. Cat. She did a cat, and she's doing some little ghosts. So yeah, Mary Autier, if Kat wants to put in a link, or Tina, or Janet, to Mary's channel. She's been doing some carving. And then these are stencils. And when I stencil randomly. Some more little, and this I just use little masking tape. But, back in the day, you'd probably use cellophane tape. Little envelopes. This is off of a piece of paper that I got at paper. What's the name of that store? I can't think of it right now. But I wanted to show y'all some that's made so we can just play. Look up the history of caloric measure. You mean like measuring calories, or does it mean something in salary? I'm not sure what that is. Thanks, Kat. There's Mary's channel. So, yeah, yes, Angie. Mary's also been doing. Let me see if I can bring something up. Let me go on my phone here. Hang on. Let's see if I can go over to YouTube. Mary's been doing. You have to go to Mary's Shorts, but she's been making herself as an AI person, and she's really, I got to give it Mary, and I'm not going to say how old Mary is, but she's older than me. And for someone to just start taking up different technology, and I'm always impressed with what Mary does. All right, let me see here. Let me try to find her first here. And let's see if I can just find one of her shorts here. There's Mary. Okay, there's Mary. Let's see her shorts. Let's see if she's got. Okay, so I love this one here. I don't think she'd mind if I showed it to her, but she's got a whole bunch of them. So Mary made this. I won't show you her newest one. You'll have to go to Mary's shorts to see her newest one. But here's one that she did. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can get rid of the. Come on, get rid of the. Well, it's not getting rid of the bottom there. I don't want to join. Hang on. Let's see if I can get rid of that at the bottom. I don't know if I can. No, it's just going to have to watch it with the text on the bottom. All right, I'm going to turn off the music now. Or turn it down. But there's Mary. Look, she's a dragon slayer. She's slaying doubt, comparison. She did all this with AI. Negativity. And she's got a sword and a pencil. Isn't that cool? Isn't that awesome, Tina? Perfectionism. And she showed yesterday how she does this on her channel. She did like a little mini tutorial and she does it all on her phone. It's all done on her phone, guys. Isn't that awesome? So go over to Mary, there's her channel right there. If you put in My Mary Art, she'll come up. Okay. And isn't that awesome? I know, right? Exactly, Blaine. I loved her overalls as well. I know she is not afraid to try new things for sure. So y'all, go support her, go follow her, go look at Mary's shorts and her overalls. And she has a new one out, a new short, but y'all have to go over there and watch it to see her new one. Okay. It's good too. So yeah, she's awesome. We love our Miss Mary. This was all Xandra. She's our mermaid fib, and fib is friends in the box. She's our mermaid fib, and this is all Xandra stuff and some of her wax seals that she's made. And so you can do theme like this is, I do have a complete mermaid book, but at the time when I got her stuff, I started just putting it on this page. So now when I get any mermaid stuff from her, I just continually add to her mermaid page. Isn't that fun? That was fun, right, Elisa? Mary's fun. She taught herself how to do all that. I don't know if it was some of it, I guess, was Chat GPT, and some of it's another AI something. But yeah, she did all of herself. And like I said, yesterday morning, she comes on really pretty early, and then sometimes late on Sunday nights, and sometimes a Friday night. Anyway, she comes on different times. But she teaches herself all this stuff. Just, she's a learner, I like this one too. I used this is a vintage feather from my dad back. It's really old. So that's a vintage feather in there I put in there. And again, I just tagged a few pages, and then you can stamp, stamp your, with little mini stamps, or, we all have stamps. I'll say we have tons of them, but we all have some kind of stamps, alphabet stamps, or a leaf or a flower or something, so you can use that. And then I just use different washi tapes. This is a little blue washi tape, just a little touch of blue with the chickadees. And this one was all pinks. These are little stickers, stencil in the background. Stickers in the front, stencils in the back. I couldn't resist. It just came to mind. And then I did a science thing. And then what did I put over here? At what point did science become all about suppressing questions? Science is all about asking questions. If you can't ask questions, it's not science. So don't let anybody kid you. If you can't ask questions, it's not science. All right, let's see. Liberty. Here's another pink page with little flowers and stickers and washi tape. That's some washi there. So thank you, Ellen. Dee Dee's spinning around. Well, actually, I was just thinking of like the what is it? The mullet part, business in the front, party in the back. That's all I was thinking about, Tina. It's not so deep. Hi, Starla. Okay, so again, this is just one of those little Midori, travelers type notebooks that you can put these in in your bigger sleeves. All right, so this was a color one, and we were doing so. I have this book, I don't have it in front of me, but what I did was um, we talked about again, it was during that time when we were just doing lots of stuff. But it was a Crayola. Crayola put out this book on the history of colors. And I think I have it. I might have given it to one of the kids. I'm not sure. I might have given it to Cameron, maybe Samantha. But anyway, it's the history of color and it's by Crayola. So what I did is, like, for instance, here's yellow. So I would put together a bunch of yellow and then I would take quotes out of the Crayola, a visual biography of the world's most famous crayon. That's the name of the book. Notes for, oh, well, it's not notes. Crayola, a visual biography of the world's most famous crayon. And then inside it would talk about all the different things that I do. Like, for instance, here, let me read my notes. Yellow is a primary color. In Japan, yellow is the color of courage. In Egypt, it's the color of mourning. In the English language, it's a synonym for cowardice, but it can also be the color of sunshine and happiness. Yellow, in the form of yellow ochre, is used of one of the oldest pigments harvested from earth. And then I would make a little list of everything that I could think of that was yellow. Lemons, bananas, corn, chicks, hard hat, canary, a rubber duck, rain boots, honeycomb, daffodil, sunflower, lemonade, a finch, egg yolk. So I just started making little lists of all the things that were yellow. Let's see. Terry Brett said, now you're reminding me of a color book. Is neglected. You have a book of colors? Yeah. I know, don't we all, Terry? And I spent many hours doing this stuff, and you still have tons of stuff. I've had to just, I had to give up jewelry making, clay, polymer clay. I had to give up. I was doing three-dimensional boxes. I mean, I don't hardly ever do ATCs or art cards except like a swap or something. I don't do a lot of those. I was doing, for 4 years, I was in at least 2 to 3 swaps a week. And that's where all those notebooks, those big giant notebooks of all my artist trading cards, that was before I started streaming. So now I'm streaming and doing all this stuff with you guys too. So it's even, and color booking. When I first started streaming, the color booking wasn't a thing, and you saw how I went off the deep end with the color books. So I get it. And I still, occasionally I'll still do my people portraits, my pet portraits. This month is October. So I do Inktober. This is my 11th year of doing Inktober every day. And I have completed all of them. I'm hoping to complete this one too. Every year for 11 years, I've done Inktober. I do in October. I also do a collage pumpkin. Y'all know all my collage books, my collage art journals, so I do a lot of different things, but if you want to get really good at something, you got to kind of pick it and work it. You got to kind of work at it for a while to really get good at something, so, or you can just play and just, do stuff like this in a book and not worry about it. I got some fabric in here. And then I put a little dot, a little yellow or some kind of a little tag of every color. And oh, and then I also made an art card for each one. And I just taped it in there with some masking tape because I have it written on the back, you know, signed and everything on the back. So I made an art card. Oh, I think I made multiples. If I'm not mistaken, I think we did this once a week and I would give away art cards. I think I did gave away 4 a week with that color and kept one, something like that. Here's orange. So there's the card that I made. There's the card I made to go with orange. So here's all the orange info. Thanks, Annette. You too. Orange is the only color of the spectrum named after an actual object. Orange is the color, and it says something, something crystals used to make chrome orange, the first synthetic orange pigment introduced by French chemist Nicolas Louis Van in 1809. Chrome orange was commonly used by the Impressionists. And that's out of that visual biography of the world's most famous crayon. Then anything orange, or carrot, goldfish, pumpkin, koi fish, clownfish, tiger lily, a squash, a mango. So I wrote down things that were orange. Orpiment, orpiment, I forgot the G, used in ancient Egypt and by Romans, often contains arsenic. So does real something. It's hard to, I wrote so small. And this is how I used to really write all the time. I write bigger now because I write big on stream so that you can see it. So I got so used over the last 15 years of writing larger on stream that I don't write this small all the time. I still do sometimes, depending on what I have to fit on a page. Another ancient pigment was not only as a dye, but also a poison and a medicine. A few orange pigments are toxic. So, yeah. So I was just writing down notes out of that book. Isn't that interesting? Okay, then here's red. So I did my Japanese girl in her kimono here. This somebody's told me about this cat. There's a name for this cat, and it means good luck or something. I don't remember. I have a whole sheet of paper of him. I love this sheet of paper. I mean, a poster-sized sheet of paper from Paper Source. Is that at Paper Source? The Paper Source store. And then I'd stamp out the letters here in the color. I hope this is giving y'all some ideas. Oh, thank you, Kat. Put a link in there. Like I said, I'm not sure if I have that book anymore. I think I might have given it to either Cameron or Samantha. Samantha during some of her school stuff for color theory or something with her fashion classes, or Cameron just because his artistic. Anyway, I don't know that I still have that book. I haven't seen it lately, so I'm thinking I gave it away to one of them. But there's the link. Thank you, Kat. Let's see. All right, so let's see what we got on red. I hope this is interesting. I want y'all to get inspired to do a journal or a book, or and you can get, these are real inexpensive. You can get them 3 for $4.99 or something. You can get them plain. You can get them lined. You can get dot grids. You can make sure now if you buy a pack of them, sometimes they come like one of each, like a plain, a lined, and a dot grid. So if you buy them online in a pack of 3, make sure, look at what you're getting. Let me measure these for you too, by the way. It is, check my ruler here. I think it's 5, maybe, is it 5 and just 5 maybe? 5 by, they're about 5 by 8. They may run 5 1/4 by 8 1/4, but about 5 by 8. And also, these are the kind of books that I use to put in my traveler's books, where you just put elastic bands and hold them inside the larger journals, like here. Well, this one's more of a traveler size, but I'll show you what I mean. These are the smaller ones. These are like 4 by 8, but they're all in there See how they're in there with elastic bands? But it's the same system, and as you can use with these. These, though, when I did all these different topics, like 15 topics, I did not put all these in a binder because they're on they take up a whole shelf. These ones do. So anyway, you can get inspired to try something like this. Natural red oxides usually contain the mineral hematite, one of the oldest pigments known to man. An artificial version of red oxide is also available, known as Mars red. And I think you had to have certain reds to make gold back in the day. I don't remember the whole history of it now. Red, apple, cherries, pepper, cardinal, tomato, tulip, poppy, strawberry, rose, fire truck, and a stop sign. You did this too. Oh, I did, didn't I? You have a good memory. I have so many things I work on, Devin. I'm surprised you could remember that because you do tons of stuff too. I could never remember what you did on New Year's Eve. Streamathon. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, and then here's a little red envelope, and here's the card. See, I stamped and did stuff on the backs. 2022. So this must have been New Year's 2022 or January 2022. Okay. Purple, and then here's the purple. I just did some different here's a piece of purple, sari silk, what do you call it? Applique. Purple is one of the rarest colors in nature. Tyrian purple, perhaps the first purple dye, was made from the shells of sea snails found in the Mediterranean Sea. It became known as the color for royalty. Right over here. Purple is one of the most powerful visible wavelengths in the electromagnetic spectrum. And then here's just a bunch of purple. Look, there's purple stamps, some flowers, and just different. Anyway, yeah. So you see how fun this is? Anybody can do a color book. A book o color, I should say. Bye, Jonathan. If y'all don't follow Jonathan, let me click on here. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Well, he's the artistic biker. I'm looking for him here to click on his name, but I clicked on it early. There he is. The artistic biker. Okay. And I did not know you were looking for a new job, Jonathan. And I told y'all the story before. Jonathan was, he and I Carry Love were the first two streamers I ever saw. And Julie Topaz was one of the first people I ever talked to in a stream. And it was probably at Jonathan's. And so Jonathan was the very first streamer I ever saw on Ustream. We all started on Ustream. Well, not all of us, but those of us that have been doing it I'm in my 15th year. So Jonathan, maybe 16 years. I'm not sure. He's already gone, I think. But anyway, he was the first streamer I saw on Ustream. I said, I'm going to try. I can do this. I can do that. I said, what do I need? What's a webcam? Let me look up webcams. I might have asked him a couple questions or something about what he needed to get started. And to this day, I still do the same system. I have a webcam hanging from a yardstick, and the yardstick's tucked up under some weighted stuff back there in a bookshelf. And my camera just hangs from a yardstick. And I still stream the same. Hi, Joycey. Yes, and Joycey's been around forever too. Joycey used to stream. I think she's thinking, well, she says she wants to get a new computer and try to stream again. All right, let's keep going here. There's purple. Now we're in the pink. And again, here's the little card. I just taped it in so I could still see the back of it if I wanted to. Then here's pink. And I added some little lacy bits in there. Pink, that says pink. And again, let's see, what did I write from? Bright pink pigment found in fossils of I don't know, somewhere, fossils of somewhere, or blue-green algae in West Africa. And then many pink pigments come from madder root, Madder, which is also used to make reds. I know I've heard of red madder. I'm not sure about, didn't know about the pinks until this. And then things that are pink: cotton candy, cherry blossom, starfish, pigs, bubble gum, and pink grapefruit. Isn't this fun? Who wouldn't love to make a book like this? Oh, just saying. And I think I have 2 shades of green here. Yeah. Here's olive green. So there's the olive green one. And then there's the card. And then and then this one was like supposed to be like a green and lime. Well, this is lime green, but it didn't turn out. I didn't really work hard at this one. Made some cards though. And let's see. Here's blue. I do like the blue page. Where's the card? There's the card that I made. I made a whole bunch of these, and we did giveaways with these. Okay, so blue, let's see what we got here. This is a quote. To find the pearls in life's ocean, you have to venture out far past the shore. Unknown. Who said that? Okay, historically, blue pigments were made from minerals like lapis lazuli, cobalt, or azurite. Blue dyes were made from plants like wood, like blue plants like wood, I'm not sure, and indigo. During the Middle Ages, azurite and ultramarine came from Afghanistan. The only source of blue pigments was from Afghanistan. See, and there's a yo-yo, and Angie makes yo-yos now too. Angie makes yo-yos and sells. I bought a couple packs of her yo-yos when I bought an Angie bowl over at Lovely Crafty Lodge. Jacqueline, she comes on Fridays, and if Kat wants to be nice and put a link. Lovely's Crafting Lodge, she sells on Friday nights, Friday evenings, 4 to whatever. And she's selling yo-yos and her fabric bowls. So there's blue, and there's the blue card. What else do I have in here? And then we're going to go into, we're doing one a month, I guess. I think we're doing one a month. And because here I have one for June being teal, and we don't have one. Then there's gray and black and white, and that was it. So, but you can see I put a little tab for all the colors. But probably by 6 months of doing this, I guess I was probably tired of doing just this book. I don't know. I don't remember. 2022. Thanks, Kat. Jacqueline is sweet. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Let's see what other books. I just pulled a couple other ones here. Let's see what I have. But did I finish this one? Yeah, I did finish this one. All right. And then what do I have? I started some different ones here. I think these are kind of the same kind of deal. These might have been my fairy. Oh, no, this was I was going to do one every month in 2024 in more of a collage-y vibe, like more collage elements. And I don't know how far I got in there. We'll see. Thanks, Ellen. So, yeah, and I think I picked a word and did one a month, I think. Seek. So different, again, stencils. This one was a prayer. Wisdom. This one was provision, seeds, psalms, joy. So yeah, speak. This was quite, I'm surprised how much I did get done in this book. More stenciling, and then I didn't get much past the stenciling in the rest of it, but still got quite a bit done in there. This one, I started doing a monthly thing too. That didn't get far. I think I moved over to that other one. All right, so let's go ahead and do something similar, but in this little, we're going to use this little 6x6. I showed it, I talked about how I made this. I made this yesterday out of just cardstock, 12 by 12 cardstock, get four squares, cut it in half, get four squares out of your cardstock. And let me put some of this over here on the shelf because I have no room. Okay. So I earlier before the stream, I went ahead and did because I hadn't really used this much because it takes time to dry, so it's hard to use this on stream. I forgot who enabled me. Whoever enabled me, I got chocolate stencil butter and fern stencil butter. I just got two colors to see how much I would use it, and I'm not using it much because it takes some time to dry. Okay, it's dry now. But I did this right before stream, and I stenciled one of Tim Holtz's. This stencil right here, this stencil, and I stencil a piece of it just to get a base. Let's see, Terry. Now there's an idea for next year: new journal, double spread, collage per month based on color or word. Thinking cap on. I know, right, Terry? And I still, after maybe, I don't know, it's hard to do during the holidays. Riri wants us to do an art card or a zine swap or something based on chickens. And I said we could do conspiracy. If y'all missed it on Monday, I showed my. First, let me show you the chicken. So I got a new chicken. It's a resin. He's very heavy. It's a chicken toilet paper roll holder. Blade's already gone. He'd love this. And so it's got the toilet paper. It comes out just like a regular toilet paper holder. But I rolled up a bunch of Halloween poster paper, right? So when we want to make some Halloween cards, I just unroll some and cut off some Halloween paper. But Janet's idea, well, because we have our conspiracy chickens, right? So Janet goes, well, you know what he needs, don't you? And she told me he needs his tinfoil hat. So I made the conspiracy chicken his tinfoil hat. Anyway, so we have that in the background there. All right. So yes, and I don't know. Thank you, Kat. I don't know who it was that I got enabled by for the stencil butter, but I just went and found a couple colors that I thought I might use. I love this kind of shimmery green. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that just yummy? I'll do a couple here. Now you got to set aside, and I can't use it today. I'll have to let it dry. But that's why I did one earlier, just to kind of play with it a little bit and help. And it is dry, so we can play. I don't know how long they took, but I did this right before stream. What did she say? What did Kat say? I missed it. I missed what she said. Riri said, I dare you, to Kat. You need to do a conspiracy scroll for him to hold. Yeah. And next time, you haven't shown it for a while, Janet. You need to show your conspiracy journal. Janet and I love to talk and talk about conspiracies and things. If y'all raise your hand if you watch the Y Files. That's the best kind of example that I could give you about what Jan and I are talking about. Have you ever watched the Y Files? Anyway, so Janet she's made just like I did the color journal and the different journals. So Janet has a big journal, like a large journal of conspiracies. And I don't know what all, I can't remember what she's got in there yet. I know she's got Bigfoot and yes, I love the Y-Files too, Devin. Let's see. Scrolling. But yes, Heckle the I know, right? If you have not watched it, it's really fun. And Lori, coloring with Lori does. I'm just trying to see who all watches because it's really funny. But now Janet wants me to make that roll a conspiracy paper roll. Like she has a journal. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Tina. Tina put in a link to the Y files. Okay, here's what Janet's done. She's done the flat Earth, Area 51, Bigfoot, the moon landing, and she does these big double page spreads. It's really good. So, and I wish Janet would do playlists, but anyway. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and scrape off a couple just to do, and then we'll ink this up and we'll play. So one of the nice things about either having the disc, let me pull out a couple colors here, whether you have the disc or whether you have, like I showed y'all the rings, the big rings, which you can get in the embroidery department of craft stores because those big rings are made to hold your embroidery floss plastic thingies. And you can get those big rings. So if you want to make a big thick journal, you can get big thick rings over there. And the nice thing about either a ring journal or a disc journal is you can pull them out and work on them flat, move them around, put them where you want. So, okay, let's see what we're going to do here. And I pulled a couple pieces of my jelly printed black tissue. I cut a couple of birds out of Bird Nerd collage soup book here. So I got some of those and some feathers and some eggs and a nest. So I cut a couple things out this morning so y'all didn't have to watch me cut anything. Not that y'all mind. Not that I really care. If I need something, I'm going to cut it whether y'all want to watch it or not. Plus, I want to use, maybe some of the Tim Holtz stuff I showed y'all earlier. I also pulled out some washi tape. I have a little piece of some doily fabric-y stuff. I have some twine here. Here's some postage. Velcro alert. I have some postage stamps. And just all the little stuff, right? Plus some of the new stuff that I got that I showed this morning, the cellophane tape, faux cellophane tape from Tim Holtz. So maybe some of the little people, okay. And we got to do our giveaway. I'm going to give away the what do you call it? Basswood, thin wood for you to paint because now we're into October. So we're going to do that. Okay, so let's just see here. Let me move this to the side. Let's put that right there. Okay, and let's see what we can. I want to do. Let's get a different thing here. I'll do the same. You know what I'll do? I will do. Do I want to do the green? I already did the green on brown. So let's do the chocolate butter stencil on each one just to see what it looks like on the different colors. This is cream. It looks white on camera, but it's cream color, black, and craft color. And we'll do a stencil and some stencil butter, a palette knife. Don't anybody judge me. I love this palette knife. If I can't find my red palette knife some days, it really distresses me. And I have other ones. I haven't see where's I've got another one sitting over here. Here's the white one. And I have metal ones too. I like the plastic ones though, because they just have a little give to them. And the paint kind of builds up on them. So when you use them, it kind of gives you texture. Oh my goodness. Let's see. All right. So let's go ahead and do the oh, and I also pulled my gold paint and some different inks, and me and Denise, our little brush thing here. All right, so let's go ahead and see. Now, see this right here, looking at it makes me want to smooth it all out. It makes me want to kind of OCD, you know what I mean? I want it to be nice and smushed. Okay. Oh, I also have to get me a couple baby wipes here out of my nice clean baby wipe box. All right, so let's just go ahead and do some stencil butter. Again, that's what it's called. TCW, chocolate stencil butter. And then the other one I have is fern stencil. There's only two I got. And look, there's so much in there. I'm never going to use this up. So I got two kind of neutral colors, nature colors, so that I'd be more apt to use them rather than like a bright pink or colors that I might use once or twice, right? Don't make lame excuses for the condition of that tool. Okay. I won't make any for the way my mouse looks either. All right, so let's move these over and just do one at a time. Now, I won't be able to like ink over these or anything today. I'm just going to put them behind me and let them dry. But I want you to kind of see what it looks like. So let's just put one kind of over here. And I also, when I do this, I like to not do the whole like square stencil. You know what I mean? I like to do like where it's going to fade off the edge and not put the whole stencil. You'll see what I mean. All right, so let's get some here. And let's just see. And you got to kind of put it on kind of thick, but you can scrape it off, right? So I just want some in here. I'll move down, get a little bit more. Okay, see how it's not just the whole square? There we go. I could have put a little bit higher up there, but I can't put it back down. If you want to add more, you're going to have to wait till that dries. We'll use a chocolate frosting. Hi, Judio. All right, so see, it's raised, like this one right here, and this one's dry. So we're going to do something with this one. But see how it's shiny? So when it dries, it'll have a sheen to it. But again, now I got to just set this to the side. But I want to do all the colors. All right, so I'm just going to let's put this one over here. All right, let's pick some up. I want to do it on the craft, the black, and the cream, just to do some testing. I will clean these stencils, Janet. I will wipe them down with the baby wipe. I will wipe them down with the baby wipe. Okay, there we go. All right. Ooh, that looks pretty. I like that. That looks like old vintage wallpaper or something, doesn't it? Dudden. And then we can go in here and do layers and ink and, I don't know if I can dry this with a heat gun either. Does anybody know if you can dry this with a heat tool? It does look pretty, right, Elisa? I'd like to do a green one on the black to see what that looks like too. With this flower print, if we can dry with a heat gun, that would be great because then then we can do something with it right now. Smush the stencil on a piece of paper. I will I'll show you what I'll do here in a minute, Riri, but I want to use one more here. I want to do it on the cream color. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this one over here. Let's go off the side there. And it is like butter, and it's real creamy and smooth and soft. You probably should, I would recommend taping this down because I'm already making a mess. Look. Okay. I don't want it on the lid where the lid's going to be. All right. All right. So there it is on the cream color. See how it's raised? Oh my goodness, massive enabling. Sorry, Riri. I'm only going to enable 2 colors. That's all I got. Somebody enabled me. I got to pass on the enablement. All right. So what I did to clean this one a minute ago was first off, before I do that, let me clean off my palette knife a little bit. And what I did is, where's that piece of paper I had? Where did I throw it? What I did with it, did I stick it back? Here it is. I took the stencil and just laid it down on a piece of paper with a baby wipe and just kind of did this. And then kind of move it over. And you could do this on a piece of paper so you could keep that if you wanted. I know me, I would not reuse it. So this is, and you could, if you really want to clean your stencils, like Janet probably would, she'd stop everything and go and wash it off. That's clean enough for me. All right. So again, I got to set these aside. Let's just try to dry one. Let's try to dry one. I just usually set it aside and let it dry. But let's go ahead and plug in the heat tool and see if we can dry this. If not, then, that's okay too. All right. All righty. Let's see what we can dry this. It does. Doesn't it look good? Okay. Janet. All right, let's do a little test. It's getting there. It's still sticky. Let's see. Let's give it another minute. It's still a little sticky. I bet if I left it for about 5 minutes, we could probably work over the top of it. So I'll set this aside. Okay, I'll set it aside for a minute. And we'll play with this one a little bit because I had already let this one dry. Okay, so let's see what we can do. Let's just do a little, layering. Am I zoomed in enough? Is this good? Do y'all want me to zoom in? We good? Because it is kind of little. There we go. Okay, let's some more of this on me. Hi, Kimberly. Thank you. Thank you, Riri. Thumbs up always helps. I always forget to say. Follow me, people. Thumbs up. Follow. And we're going to do a giveaway here. You do have to subscribe to be in the giveaway. But other than that, lurkers can participate. Okay. So let's see about just inking this. Let's see which color would I probably want a dark one. Maybe brushed corduroy. Or what do I got over here? I just pulled a bunch of brown. Aged mahogany. Let's do that one. Let's try aged mahogany. It's going to be kind of red, kind of a reddish brown. Let's just see here. I just want to kind of. Might be too red. I'll put some of this, and I'll also put some other brown. And I should put another piece of paper under it because I'm going to get it all over my desk, which this wipes up, but still. All right, so a little bit of aged mahogany. Let's do brushed corduroy. Or maybe vintage photo. No, that's not going to be dark enough. Let's try the brush corduroy. And I'll just get a paper towel and kind of clean my brush off a little. Uh, okay, it's clean. And that's not showing up a lot either. I just want to give it a little more depth before we start layering things on it. But that's pretty cool, isn't it? That you can still see the green shimmer. It's hard to tell the different browns there. Maybe I turn the brightness down a little since I zoomed in now and we got color going. Let's see. All right, might got it too dark. So now let's do another. Let's see. Maybe the rusty hand is kind of a yellow, a kind of an oranger color. Ooh, yeah, there we go. That'll give us a nice glow. Give us a nice glowy glow. And this is the oxide. That's why it's a little thicker than the distress inks are just distressing, where the oxide is really thicker, you know. Okay, I like that. And it looks really yellow on camera, but it's more orange. It really wants to flash out the camera, though. All right, let's see. Maybe a little piece of this with some with some other stuff. Let's see. Let's just do some auditioning, as they say. Let's move all this out of the way. Oh, and I also got the distress texture paste, just the opaque color, which I think I've used once or twice. I need to use this more too. This is all the dimensional texture paste I have. Those three things, I think. What's this over here? That's a wax, yeah. Oh, let's see. Hi, Joanne. So this is wanting to look very orange on camera, and it's kind of making my camera go, what? Maybe if I put something white in here. Oh, no. Okay. So let's see what we want to do. Let's find something to layer, especially with our new stuff here. Let's see here. Maybe some tags. Got some paper. This is kind of small, and I don't want to cover this up completely. Velcro alert. Let's just pick out a couple things, and I will ink distress ink these up too. Here's there's a report card. That's kind of big. I want something smaller. This one's smaller. That's not the right color. Oh, let me get in frame here. I forgot I'm zoomed in. I have to remember I'm zoomed in. There we go. The screen, and that's green. Okay. There's something big. Now let's get some littler things. Maybe one of these. Let's go here. And I'm only doing one side. In the other journals that I showed you and these, I did double sides, two sides like this. But we're going to just do one at a time. And I'm not going to pop dot too much because I don't want this. It's already thick and going to flare out already. Let's see. Who's going to be our person of the day? Oh, I think that's German. That's French. Anyway, let's do something. Look international. Does she look international? Who looks international? Of course, it could be a soldier and his wife. That's green. It's got green in it. Maybe the soldier and his wife. And again, I'm picking it more from the color than anything. I'll give y'all one of these sheets when I give y'all the one of these. I'll give y'all one of these too. All right, let's see. So let's go ahead, and now I do want to ink. I think I'm going to want a darker ink here. Let's do a darker ink. I might even just get a nice, get rid of the white edge, you know. I'll put this, and then I'll put some, this. Don't y'all love my descriptions? I'm going to put some of that, and then I'm going to just do some of this. All right, so now let's go ahead and pick up a little of this and just kind of blend it out. Make it just look a little older. Take that bright edge off. And the same thing, actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and ink around here a little bit too. Just soft. I'm not going to do a direct ink because it'll give me a harsh line. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of... You probably really want to sit it down to do this, but... No, thanks, Angie. But one of the nice things about having it in a disc or a ring bound is you can take the pages out and play with them. You don't have to worry about them in a book. So if you do want to do dimensional stuff on it, you can do it. It'll just flare your book out, you know. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing something creative this week. All right. So I like that. I wish I could show you the color better, but it's really, it wants to look orange on camera. So let's go ahead and do some, well, that on there maybe. Let's go ahead and ink this edge here. Make it look a little, and maybe I'll use some of that cello tape. Now, I don't know about that cello tape, washi tape on top of all this stuff. I don't know that I trust it to really stick, you know. All right, I want a little piece of this. So I'm going to cut some of this off. Let's see here. Let's find a, going to kind of go along the edge here. I need other scissors. Just a little. Like they're just, you know, traveling. Maybe they're, you know, still in the military. Let me get my glue here. What else do I want? I want this kind of crooked. That. See, it's not too hard. Maybe a little piece of leaf or something, like a edelweiss flower or leaf or something. Let's see what I got over here. Let's get a something out of here. Just a little, maybe something kind of yellow. Maybe this. It's already getting bulky. I'm already going to scare myself with the bulk. And a postage stamp or two would look good, like it's travel. And again, just all different kinds of cancel stamps. You can buy canceled stamps You can buy canceled stamps in bags at bookstores. I have them at Books A Million. They're at Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure at Michael's, but they sell them in bags, and they're not expensive. And you get, I think, like 1,000 of them for $10 or something. You'll never use them all up. Let's see. Let's get something with green in it, but something maybe. And you can buy U.S. and international. That was the other thing. Let's see. Maybe they stayed at this hotel. Now, I do want to either tear this down or tear this down. Too much from the envelope on there. Let's get rid of some of that. Oh, I want to tear the stamp. Well, and you could also stamp some, like I have some of that faux postage stamps. Do you know what I mean? The cancellation marks. But I'm not going to dig it out right now. But you could add some of that. It's too white still. Let's see. There we go. And maybe another one. Let's see if I can find something that doesn't have any white around it. I can't tell what that is. Y'all still with the tour? Here's one with some flowers. Maybe this one. Something like that. What do y'all think? Is that enough? Is that enough on a page? What would y'all put? Y'all tell me real quick. What would y'all add to this page if you were making it? I'll let y'all just give me some inspo. I might need a couple little tiny labels, right? So I just got these as well. Maybe at least one, right? At least one little label. Like that. A butterfly. Let's see. I did pull some butterflies. I did pull a couple butterflies, actually. I have one here. A couple butterfly stickers in here. In my little tray cutouts. How about that? Is that good? It needs to go this way, though, doesn't it? How about that? A tiny suitcase? Well, that would be cute, but I'd have to dig around for that, Elisa. I'm kind of working off of what I got from Tim. Oh, and you know another thing I didn't use? I didn't use any of this. I don't think I want any burnt tape on here, but I might want some of this. Some of this twine, maybe wrapped around the flower. We'll cut a piece of this off while I'm gluing it down. I think that looks good. All right, and let's see if I can get this glued down. Let's move this out of the way. Then we'll do our giveaway. All right. Thought it might be too much. Yeah. All right, let's see here. And I got my little fox brooch for my pin for my, this is almost empty though, so I'm probably going to have to get out my new bottle, which will mean I'll have a new tip. This one's getting pretty crusty. I know you can wash it, Janet. Don't yell at me. All right, let's see if I can do this, how I can do this. Now, you can Be very precise. I mean, glue edge to edge on something like this, which is probably a good idea. But I'm just going to put enough glue. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something else, guys. This is coming out so thin for little things. And I know it does dry clear, but I'm going to go with Eileen's Tacky because I'm in a hurry. And this comes right out in a big, nice blob. Okay, so now let's see. Let's go ahead and just kind of set this like this. I'm going to have it. All right. I'm going to want this up here. I got to remember where my little hole punches are. Okay. Let's see how I want this laid out like this. Oh, wait, I want the flower down there first. So let's go ahead and take, I'm going to double this up. Let's just cut it in half so it's a little thicker. And then I'm going to kind of wrap it around the flower a couple times. Just tie it so it just has some strings sticking off. Kind of like that. But I want it under here. So let's go ahead and stick that right there. I might need a pop dot. I want that kind of over that. Let's get a piece of cello tape. Let's see what happens. A couple of strings there. Now I need a piece of cello tape right there. Let's see how well that works. Okay, my problem with the cello tape is I have no fingernails to pick this up. There we go. I want to kind of tape down the flower and the picture. Let's get another piece. It's a little piece here. Come on. There we go. There, you can kind of see it. All right, now I'm not going to want anything hanging off the inside of the book, so I'm going to trim that. All right, let's go ahead and glue this. Got a little tag. I think I want it right there. I don't want to cover up all the cello tape. And then the butterfly. This is a sticker as well. It's another one of those. Let's see if I can peel off the back. I hope I'm staying in frame. I'm so zoomed in. When I'm zoomed in, I forget that I have to watch to stay in frame. All right, let's see here. Come on. You can do it. You're a sticker. Don't try to say you're not. If you bend the corners back and forth, you can usually get a little grip. But I have no fingernails, so it's really hard to get in there. All right, I'm not going to be able to do it, I don't think. Keep bending and peeling. Okay, we're just going to glue the whole thing. I can't peel it. I know it's a sticker because I trimmed it down. There we go. Let's put that little string up under there too. There we go. All right. Now this is going to need something, that's going to need to be glued down, but I'll have to kind of hold it for a second, I think. Let's hold that flower down for a minute, for a second. All right, let's see what everybody's saying. Hi, Leona. Who else am I missing? Said hi to Joanne. Good to see you, Leona. Anybody else I missed coming in? Thank you, Devin. And Devin comes on. Devin, are you streaming today? Devin's going be doing some just videos for most of October, but I think she's streaming today. Are you streaming today? Dee Dee, I use a straight pin to help set. Oh, good idea. Good idea, CV. Because I have no nails. I don't want nails. You know what I'm going to do? And I know y'all going, wow. I'm going to get my tiny attacher for that flower. Get my tiny it's not a Tim Holtz tiny attacher. There we go. We're good now. All right. So there's a little page for the little fun little book, right? I like it. Just some stuff. It doesn't have to mean anything. It doesn't have to be my relatives. You know, I could have put something with the rulers, but I did have to distress these before I use them. I probably cut them down too. I could put one of these little keys. I'd feel better about attaching it with a brad or a sewing it or something like that, you know, just to make sure it didn't come off. Okay, there we go. There's our little layered page of Tim Holtz stuff. All right. Now I gotta let it dry and everything, but I would like to put it in the book just so you could see it. And then we will do our giveaway. Let's see here. Maybe I could put it at the very first page. Maybe the very first page. See, and I glued this is cardstock, and I glued a black to the front and a card to the back so it's thicker. And I'll put something on there too, but let's just put our page in here. There we go. There's our little first page. I pulled so much stuff that we didn't really use. I pulled a bunch of stencils here. Oh, I missed. Did Devin say she's... Hi, Raul. Let's see. Did Devin say she's streaming today? Yes. All right. So Devin streams at 3 Eastern. Tina put a link. Raul, how you doing? Are you traveling? Are you healing up? Or what you been doing, Raul? I know Raul's already put out a post on the post tab. It used to be called the community tab. Now the community tab's something else altogether on the phone. But anyway, Raul plans on doing the January 1st stream-a-thon. And all right, so there we go. So y'all go over to Raul's tab, post tab. And he did a nice graphic. The other nice thing about a ring binder thing is you can put it to the back like that. All right, so let's see what we can do here for a giveaway. I can't get this too thick because these are already kind of thick enough, you know. And remember, if you're in Canada, I have 2 or 3 things back here for Devin. If you're in Canada, I will wait till the what do you call it's over? The strike, the postal strike in Canada is over before we send out yours. But I have it all ready, addressed, stamped, ready to go. So as soon as the strike is over, I have my little note to remind myself to tell y'all that the Canadian Post is back on strike. When it's over, I will get yours out. Traveling in December to Monaco and Italy. I'll send you an email to you. Okay. Send me a postcard, Raul. Send me a postcard. Please. Tell the missus to do it if you don't want to. All right. So let's see. All right. So I'm going to send out these. And this has got some kind of a brand. Let me see if I got. Well, somebody's going to end up getting the one with the brown mark on it because I'm going to do giveaways till they're all gone. But for today, we'll get rid of it. Because I have 12 and I'm going to do 4 at a time, 3 different times during October. Today's October 1st. If y'all missed it, I did post my first Inktober, just the title. Let's see here. Let's go to my... Oh, Terry! When did you do this? Just now? Girl, she just popped right up. Terry's done in the last less than an hour. Oh my gosh, Terry. Oh, wow, where did my heart go? Come back. Just went away. Look at that. Terry, that is awesome. She just put this together. A blue page. Right, Devin? She just put that together like a wing and a prayer. Very nice, Terry. You pop up in my feed because I follow you all the time. So, and here's something Biddy Penny. She's not here today, but Biddy Penny was on this morning. I don't know if she did this morning, but she posted this morning. So if y'all don't follow Biddy Penny, she's very yeah, she did. That's her background from this morning. I just lurked because I was getting ready for my own stream, so I just lurked at Biddy Penny's. Let me see here. Let's go here. All right, so here's my Inktober, Inktober, and I'm gonna have to fix this. It doesn't show up that that's 2025 very well, so I'm gonna go around that and make it a little clear. And I have music on it as well, but anyway, I showed y'all the poster. So I did Inktober in kind of like Kelpie look, just to have, and this is big. This is this big on the poster. So I always try to do the first, what do you call it? A title for the first Inktober day. So I'm still blown away by Terry's thing there. Okay, so let's see. All right, so I'm going to put y'all a little Halloween pumpkin. I should put this in a piece of cardstock, I think. And I put extra postage to make sure y'all get it. But I think this might be, that might be, I think it'd be better if I put it in a piece of cardstock or something. Let's see what I got behind me. Oh, you know what I got? Let's go. Remember when I said I was going to deconstruct my... Here we go. This is going to be a nice little giveaway today. Remember when I deconstructed my journals? I was telling you I was deconstructing them. I put 2 in the garage. I gave Denise a bunch. I thinned the herd. I thinned out the herd. Let me back up. With my journals, and I deconstructed some of my... Sorry, I'm adjusting lighting and everything. I thinned out some of my... These are some of my composition notebooks. Papers. These are old. I'm going to give y'all one of these in each one. That one's kind of torn. Let's go with this one and this one. All right. So this will kind of wrap around. This will kind of wrap around the wood. Do you know what I mean? Like put that in there. It's just composition paper. Napkins. Okay. Napkins, stenciling. These are quite old. I can't even tell you how old these are. Oh, but it will kind of firm up, or smooth out, I should say, smooth out the envelope from just and it's not thick, but I think this might be better. All right, so there we go. I also wanted to put in, and I'm just going to randomly select, randomly pick. Everybody's going to get a Tim Holtz People, what do you call it? Photo booth. Everybody will get a photo booth paper. A random people, random relatives. Random relatives. Okay, what else could I put in here? I don't want to get too thick, just because I don't want it to be considered a package. You know what I mean? We got to keep it as an envelope. So far, so good. Okay. Now, I think I could get one more thing in there. Let's see. Let me look over here at my tinny stuff that I just got. All right, I know, tissue papers. These are very thin. This one's got something on it. I just gooped it up. All right, so let's put a tissue. Let me get a couple in here. A random tissue paper in each one. newspaper. Y'all know how the giveaways work. We do one U.S., one international. Here, let's do a letters. This is good here. 2 different giveaways, I should say. We do U.S. and international, and we do 2 U.S., 2 international giveaways, but we just do them separate. All right, hang on. Let's put this over here. All right, there we go. All right, so now I'm going to just tuck each one. Give me a minute. I'm putting them together for y'all. Tuck them in here. And again, if you're in Canada and you get one, I will hold it till the Canadian Post reopens, if you will. Has anybody heard anything? Devin, have you heard anything on the Canadian Post? And View, are you still here, View? View, if you're here, I need to ask you something. Let's see. No news yet. Okay. Let me see if View answers me. Yes, U.S. or international. Make sure you're in the right one. For sure, Tina, because that happens sometimes. You'll have to pay attention. And I put a little note down. All right. No new. Let's see. After, yeah. Thank you, Tina. Tina's giving you all the rules there. Oh, thanks, Raul. I appreciate it. Aw. I don't see View answering me. I need to ask her something about hers. All right, so here we're going to do, I think we did USA first last time, so we'll do international first. All right, let me get a Sharpie. Where's my Sharpie? Here we go. I have some happy mail for you too, but yeah. Okay, before Christmas. I'm sending Devin one of my journals, one of my traveler's notebook journals, but I got to make sure that everything's open before that goes out. All right. International, but I have it over here for you, Devin. All right, international only. Wait till I type in go. You're going to put in a number 1 to 100. First 2 people closest. Let me get my random.org on the iPad here. Random. Okay, so here's our random.org. Here's our little window there, generator. Okay, when I type in go, put in a number between 1 and 100, international only. First 2 people closest without going over. Don't change your number, move your number, just first 2 people closest without going over. Okay, and then we'll do US separate. All right. All right, there we go. Got ink on my hand still. All right. But I had fun with this. See, doesn't have to be anything, but just maybe a little statement with the people, right? I don't know. I like it. I hope y'all liked it. And I hope y'all had fun today and all this week because I'm thankful for you guys. And if you wanted to, when you do this, if you have your liquid pearls, your stickles, or any puffy paint or anything like that, you could do some of that, some little dots. I could put some of my gold ink, which Bitty Penny used this morning. I didn't see exactly where she'd put it because I was half paying attention because I was getting ready for my stream, but I did see she had the gold ink out. If y'all need gold ink, this is the best. The Kuretake mica gold. Nothing beats this. Is the goldest gold you'll ever see. Hi, Brooke with an E. All right. Y'all international people, get your numbers in. Okay, I'm going to count down. Don't dilly-dally, dawdle, or lollygag. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, thank you, Joanne. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. Let me bring my iPad back up. All right, here we go. First two people closest to 46 without going over. 46 without going over. All right, let me scroll back. Y'all help me look now. 46 without going over. Me went over. Let's see. Melissa Taylor has 44. I think Melissa Taylor is one of them. Y'all double check me. And Melissa, I don't think I have your address. If I do, it's been a while since I sent you anything. I think Melissa had, what did I say she had? She had 44. And Ann Makes had 33. Is it Ann Makes with 33? Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Ann Makes. All right. And Ann, I'll send yours out as soon as everything starts, moving again. All right. So Melissa, send me your address. Here's my email. I don't share your addresses with anybody, not even with other mods. And I don't put you on an email list. Not that there's anything wrong with the email list. All right. So there y'all go. Ann Makes and Melissa. All right. Now we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to do US. USA only. 1 to 100. Again, same rules apply. First two people pick a new number. You're welcome. We'll pick a new number after everybody puts their number in. Janet. I'm not taking any chances, Janet. All right, here we go. USA only. There y'all go. Go. First two people closest. All right, let's pick this up. I'm just kind of picking up as I go. I do, believe it or not, I do pick up after every stream and after every project I do. Things get put away. Now, if I'm still working on a portrait, if I'm working on portraits, something, a color book page, I still have my pencils right here from Monday. The colors that I used on Monday is sitting here handy. But I pick everything up after every project. So I know where everything is. I do keep track of my stuff. It's just, like with like. Like with like. All right, y'all get your numbers in. Oh, I do want to leave these out because I might do a couple more things with those. Maybe not today, but sometime the next day or two. All right. All right, there we go. All right, get your numbers in. USA only. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Let me get out my random.org again. Terry, I'm still impressed with what you did at that blue page. All right, here we go. New number 17. And if everybody went over 17, I'll pick a new number. You won't have to put in a new number. 17 without going over. And if we need to, we'll pick a new number. But let's see. Let me scroll all the way back. Probably it was US. We got plenty of people. All right, 17. Let's see. Ellen had 8. Kathleen Kelly D had 15. So I think it's Kathleen. Kathleen D. Y'all double check me. Kathleen D had 15. Okay, who's the next closest without going over? Scrolling. Y'all double check me. Is it Ellen with 8? Joyce Boring. Joyce Boring had 15. Okay. Joyce Boring had 15. Okay, there we go. And I'm pretty sure, Joyce, when was the last time I sent you anything? How, because y'all move and change your addresses, and I don't know that. I've had a couple things returned. I had one thing returned international twice. And it's a person that doesn't really come in here often. That one about 2 months ago. And I sent it again because I double checked the address. It was returned again. So I can't, it is what it is. So, all right, let's see. So if y'all aren't sure, oh, good. I'm glad you like the pumpkin, Joyce. Do I have your current address, Joyce? If y'all are never sure, send it to me again. You will not hurt my feelings if you double send me your address because I cannot keep up with everybody. Yeah, okay. And I see if I've sent something to you kind of recently, I kind of remember that I've sent something to you recently, but I don't remember when the last time I sent something to Joyce. So Joyce, if you're not sure, send it to me again. And then and then when I get the address, I go, oh yeah, I recognize it now. Because I don't keep up with y'all. I have to look up Janet's address every time I send her something. All right, guys. So I guess we'll go ahead and head on out. If y'all have any more questions, comments, leave comments. I don't get a lot of comments, and it's because we talk so much here. We're talked out pretty much. But if y'all have any comments or questions, leave them. You're welcome, and thanks, Elisa. Every time I see Elisa, let me just go ahead and get it. Hey girl, hey. I love these things. I love my Dee Dee arms. Elisa made those. And so yeah. All right, guys. So thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting me on IG. And yeah, bye girl, bye. All right, guys, you'll have a great rest of your week. And I'll try to make it over to Devon's for a little bit at 3. And y'all support each other's channels. At least give them thumbs up and subscribe. It's free. Doesn't cost y'all nothing, Thanks, Tina. Thanks to my mods, Tina, Cheshire Cat, and yes, even Janet. We tease each other all the time. All right, guys. Y'all have a blessed rest of your day. Thanks again for being here, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.